Good afternoon. This is a winter weather briefing for a potential snow event expected across North Texas late tonight into early Wednesday morning. Here's an overview of what we're expecting with this event. Snow is expected late tonight into the early morning hours on Wednesday. Most areas will pick up between 1 and 3 inches of snow, but there will be localized amounts that could be considerably heavier than that through early Wednesday morning. Most of the snow is expected late tonight into the early morning hours on Wednesday, between, say, 2 and 10 o'clock in the morning. And then as the system moves on by, sun is expected to return in the afternoon, and that's going to allow temperatures to warm up into the mid-40s. So any of the snow that has accumulated on any of the streets is likely to melt fairly quickly by Wednesday afternoon. So overall impacts from this snow system are expected to be less than what we saw late Sunday night into Monday morning with the sleet. This is a look at the water vapor imagery across the United States, and it shows us the upper level low that is going to be responsible for this snow. Right now it's out over Arizona, but it is in the process of moving east very quickly. It's going to move across North Texas fairly quickly late tonight, so this is going to be a quick shot of snow, and then things will be done by Wednesday afternoon. Here's a look at some of the computer models of where exactly this upper level storm system is going to track. And it's important to understand exactly where it tracks, because most of the heavy snow is going to be tied very closely to the center of where this low pressure system tracks. The two images up at the top are our global computer models. They're a little bit lower resolution. And they have the center of the low tracking somewhere south of Interstate 20, say between the Metroplex and the Waco area. They are also a little bit weaker with the overall system, and this is kind of important because it creates challenges in the forecast as to where the heavy snow is gonna set up. The bottom two images are some of our high-resolution computer guidance, and they are a little more interesting because what they tend to do is be a little stronger with the low pressure system, and therefore they pull more moisture northward into North Texas. So the resulting output from them is to have heavier snowfall farther north of the Interstate 20 corridor. So it's these differences, these considerable differences in the computer models that yields a little bit lower confidence in this forecast than we saw with the sleet forecast on early Monday morning. Just as an example, this is some of the global computer model snowfall output for North Texas, and it's generally light across most of the region. In fact, the heaviest snowfall, up to about 2 inches, is generally south of Interstate 20 between Canton and Palestine. And then areas south of there, it's generally all rain. As we look at some of the high-resolution computer model guidance, the snowfall is much, much heavier. The scale on this image goes up to 8 inches of snow, and it's much farther north, generally from the Metroplex northeast to the Red River and over toward the Paris area. The other interesting thing about the high-resolution computer models is that they develop bands of very, very heavy snowfall. And this results in the type of precipitation where you can go from having 5 or 6 inches of snow on the ground to nothing in just a few miles. So overall, this creates a very complicated forecast for the overnight hours into early Wednesday morning. Our official forecast is going to call for a little bit lighter amounts than what we saw in the high-resolution computer models. Right now, we generally think between 1 and 3 inches of snow is a good bet. The reason for this is the system is going to be moving very fast, and while it will produce some heavy snow in areas, it's just not going to last all that long. So we think right now that the heaviest snow will be from the Metroplex areas, particularly Dallas area, east and northeast of there toward Greenville and Sulphur Springs. And again, we're going for about 1 to 3 inches with locally heavier amounts. For that reason, and because of some of the uncertainty, we have issued a winter weather advisory for most of North Texas. Now, this is an upgrade to the winter storm watch that was in effect earlier. Again, the area from, say, Paris over toward McKinney, Greenville, Sulphur Springs, those areas is where we think the greatest snowfall will occur through Wednesday morning. And again, right now we're thinking 1 to 3 inches with locally heavier amounts. Now, if heavy bands of snow set up, you could have pockets of snowfall that are considerably greater than the 3 inches of snow that we're currently forecasting. A little bit farther to the west is still an area where moderate to heavy snow could fall. It'll still be of short duration, and we could see 1 to 2 inches of snow with locally heavier amounts. Farther south and west from, say, Stephenville down to Waco and Palestine, we're thinking that temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer. It will initially be mixed with some rain, so snowfall accumulation should generally be lighter, anywhere from half an inch to an inch of snow on the ground. And keep in mind that this is going to be very fast-moving system, so by Wednesday afternoon, we're actually expecting the sun to come out, and any accumulations that are on area roads are expected to melt away. So again, to reiterate, despite the predictions of 1 to 3 inches of snow, the impacts are not anticipated to be as bad as they were late Sunday night into Monday morning with the sleet that we had. Bridges and overpasses would probably still be slick, especially in areas where snow accumulates quickly. Some power outages are possible. This is mainly from wet, heavy snow that accumulates on trees near power lines. But again, overall, we're not expecting widespread power outages. And the temperatures are going to be right near 32 degrees during the time that the snow occurs. So even though it will stick, temperatures are expected to warm up through the day, and most of that will melt off. Thank you for joining us for this weather briefing. You can stay tuned to our webpage, weather.gov/Fort Worth, for updates throughout the night. Again, confidence in this is not nearly as high as it was on the early Monday sleet event. So stay tuned throughout the evening hours for possible updates to the forecast.